Heart disease is not just a medical condition. It's the silent enemy of our time. Across the globe, it claims more lives than any other illness. Each year, cardiovascular diseases are responsible for nearly 18 million deaths. That's not just a number. It's 32% of all deaths worldwide. Think about that. Almost 1 in every 3 lives lost can be traced back to a problem with the heart. In the United States, this crisis hits even harder. Heart disease has been the nation's #1 killer since the 1950s, and that fact hasn't changed. According to the CDC, nearly 695,000 people die from heart disease in the US every year. That's roughly 1 out of every 4 deaths. A staggering reality. But amid this grim picture, there's also powerful hope. Heart disease is not inevitable. In fact, some of the world's leading heart surgeons believe it's preventable and that your daily choices can make all the difference. One such visionary was Dr. Michael DeBakey, a name that has become legendary in the world of heart medicine. Dr. DeBakey wasn't just a doctor. He was a pioneer who transformed the way we treat heart disease. He performed over 60,000 life-saving surgeries and mentored generations of doctors. His innovations, including major advancements in heart bypass surgery and artificial heart technology, have saved countless lives. And here's something even more remarkable. Dr. DeBakey didn't just preach health, he lived it. He stayed active into his late 90s, still performing surgeries and driving to work at an age when most people are long retired. He lived to be 99 years old, and throughout his life, he shared powerful advice about how to protect your heart and live well. So what was his secret? What kept his heart strong and his life vibrant? Let's explore the top 5 habits that Dr. DeBakey lived by. Habits that can help anyone at any age protect their heart and enjoy a longer, healthier life. Tip number 1, keep moving. Every single day, Dr. DeBakey believed that movement was the foundation of a healthy heart, and his advice was simple: walk. Not complicated workouts or fancy equipment, just walking, every day. He recommended at least 30 minutes of walking daily, alternating between a slow and brisk pace to keep the heart engaged. For Dr. DeBakey, walking wasn't just exercise, it was a way of life. He walked from place to place, tended his garden, and always chose the stairs instead of the elevator. He didn't spend hours at the gym, nor did he follow a strict exercise routine. Instead, he embraced natural, everyday movement. In an interview, he once said, "I don't feel like I need to exercise formally, and I'm glad to see studies showing that even fidgeting is good for you." That may sound surprising, but science backs him up. Small, frequent movements throughout the day, called NEAT or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, can burn calories and support heart health. Fidgeting alone can increase energy expenditure by 20 to 30% without raising your heart rate dramatically. It helps combat the harmful effects of prolonged sitting, and those who engage in more of these subtle movements have a lower risk of early death compared to those who remain inactive. Still, while walking and fidgeting are beneficial, Dr. DeBakey acknowledged that they don't replace all the benefits of more vigorous exercise. That's why variety matters. Mixing walking with other activities like light strength training or cycling helps you achieve optimal health outcomes. Tip number 2, stay busy, work with passion and purpose. For Dr. DeBakey, work was more than a job. It was his life's passion. He believed that staying busy and engaged was key to living a long, meaningful life. He woke up every day at 4 a.m., did some light exercise, and then walked to the hospital, the place he called home. Even in his 90s, he was working 16-hour days, performing surgeries, mentoring young doctors, and developing new medical technologies. He never retired. In fact, he considered work a form of relaxation. Once he said, "No vacation spot could ever be as soothing as the operating room." This wasn't just about keeping his mind active. Dr. DeBakey believed that meaningful work gave life purpose and direction. It kept the mind sharp, reduced stress, and provided satisfaction. Even when challenges arose, he welcomed them. "Every day brings new challenges," he once said, and to me, that's the zest of life. One of his most notable later life achievements was the development of a miniature heart pump, a device created in collaboration with NASA and other experts to help patients awaiting heart transplants. Dr. DeBakey didn't just contribute, He led the way, showing that age is no barrier stress can harm the heart. He also viewed stress as a motivator. He believed it could bring out the best in people, depending on how you handle it. Man was made to work and work hard, he once told Time magazine. I don't think it ever hurt anyone. For Dr. DeBakey, a busy, purposeful life was the best life. Staying engaged, setting goals, and never giving up on your passions, that was his secret. Tip number 3, stress less. Your heart depends on it. While Dr. DeBakey valued work and challenge, he also understood the dangers of unchecked stress. He considered stress the heart's worst enemy, and he warned against the common mistake of using alcohol to cope with stress, a habit that can do far more harm than good. Stress triggers the release of hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals cause your heart rate and blood pressure to rise, and over time, they can lead to serious damage. Chronic stress is linked to hypertension, arterial damage, and increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. It doesn't stop there. Stress often leads to unhealthy habits, overeating, smoking, skipping exercise, all of which increase your risk of heart disease. It also interferes with sleep, raises inflammation, and contributes to plaque buildup in the arteries. Dr. DeBakey believed in finding healthier ways to relieve stress. Whether it was spending time in nature, going to the theater, or simply enjoying quiet moments, he encouraged people to step away from the chaos and find peace. He also recognized the power of laughter and positive emotions, calling them medicine for the heart. His advice was clear: protect your heart by protecting your peace, reduce stress wherever you can, choose activities that calm your mind and lift your spirit, because your emotional health is just as important as your physical health. Tip number 4, never smoke. Protect your lungs. Protect your heart. Dr. DeBakey was one of the earliest medical voices to raise the alarm about the dangers of smoking. Early in his career, he was assigned to study the rising cases of lung cancer among patients. What he discovered was shocking, and it changed medical history. As he reviewed patient records, a disturbing pattern emerged. Nearly every individual diagnosed with lung cancer was a smoker. When he presented this data to his mentor, Dr. Alton Ochsner, the reaction was disbelief. You mean to say every one of these patients is a smoker? The evidence was undeniable. Together, they published research linking cigarettes to lung cancer, decades before it became widely accepted. This was in 1939, long before public awareness campaigns and Surgeon General warnings. Dr. DeBakey helped shine a light on a deadly habit, warning people about smoking's impact on both lung and heart health. Modern research confirms his early findings. Smoking remains the leading cause of lung cancer, responsible for about 85% of cases globally. But the damage doesn't stop at the lungs. Smoking harms the entire cardiovascular system, damaging arteries, raising blood pressure, and increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. It's not just about smoke, it's about chemistry. Cigarette smoke contains toxic substances that trigger inflammation, oxidative stress, and blood vessel damage. It accelerates plaque buildup in arteries, leading to atherosclerosis, a major cause of heart attacks. Dr. DeBakey urged people to stop smoking, not just to live longer, but to live better. Quitting smoking doesn't just add years to your life, it improves the quality of every day. His message was simple: don't wait, stop now. Your heart, your lungs, and your entire body will thank you. Tip number 5, eat for your heart. Choose foods that heal, not harm. Dr. DeBakey believed that food was powerful medicine. What you put on your plate, he said, directly impacts how long and how well you live. In his book, The Living Heart Shopper's Guide, he outlined a clear approach to eating for heart health, one based on moderation, balance, and smart choices. He didn't believe in rigid diets or extreme restrictions. Instead, he focused on limiting foods high in saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium. His goal? Keep cholesterol intake under 300 milligrams per day and saturated fat below 10% of total daily calories. He personally avoided butter and fatty meats, viewing them as enemies of heart health. In his view, giving up these foods could add 5 to 7 healthy years to your life. Instead of frying food, he recommended baking, steaming, or even eating vegetables raw to preserve nutrients. So what did Dr. DeBakey actually eat? His daily meals were simple, nourishing, and balanced. For breakfast, he often enjoyed cottage cheese, whole grain porridge, and black tea. This combination provided protein, fiber, and antioxidants, nutrients essential for energy, is rich in calcium and probiotics, supporting muscle maintenance and gut health. Whole grain porridge offers complex carbs and fiber, which help regulate blood sugar and provide lasting energy. Black tea contains polyphenols and flavonoids, which combat inflammation and promote cardiovascular function. Lunch was equally simple and healthy, often a bowl of bean soup or baked fish with plenty of raw vegetables. Bean soup delivers plant-based protein and fiber, supporting blood sugar balance and satiety. Baked fish, especially varieties rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, protects the heart and brain from inflammation and oxidative stress. Raw vegetables add a rainbow of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, boosting immune function and overall vitality. In his later years, Dr. DeBakey transitioned to one meal a day, often consisting of a fresh salad. This wasn't just any salad, it was crafted with care, including a heart-healthy dressing made with fat-free yogurt, non-fat mayonnaise, lemon juice, chives, and dill. Developed by Baylor College of Medicine, where Dr. DeBakey served in leadership roles, this dressing was both low in fat and rich in flavor and nutrients. By keeping his meals light yet nutrient-dense, he maintained a healthy weight, sharp mind, and strong body, well into his 90s. Remarkably, even in his later years, his military uniform from the early 1900s still fit perfectly. That was no accident. It was the result of decades of mindful eating and lifestyle choices. The power of moderation, a lifelong philosophy. One of Dr. DeBakey's most important messages was about moderation. He believed that balance, not excess, was the key to long-term health. Whether it was food, coffee, or work, he practiced self-discipline without deprivation. Even with coffee, he limited himself to just 1 cup per day, enjoying it as a small pleasure rather than a daily habit gone out of control. He didn't rely on supplements or medications to stay healthy. In fact, throughout his 99 years of life, Dr. DeBakey never took vitamins or daily medications. He didn't drink alcohol and he never smoked. Instead, he built his health on a foundation of real food, daily movement, meaningful work, and emotional resilience. His life sends a powerful message. You don't need expensive pills or complicated diets to thrive. What you need is consistency, purpose, and awareness of how your daily habits shape your long-term health. Dr. DeBakey's story is not just about medicine. It's about living with intention. It's about respecting your body, protecting your heart, and fueling your life with choices that promote vitality and well-being. By following his example, moving daily, working with passion, managing stress, avoiding harmful habits, and eating with care, you can support your heart and enhance your life at any age. Dr. Michael DeBakey lived nearly a century, not by chance but by choice. His legacy reminds us that longevity isn't just about time, it's about how you live every moment. The secret lies not in a miracle cure, but in simple, powerful habits practiced consistently over time. Let his life inspire you to take charge of your heart health, starting today. This message was brought to you by Health 490.